So my guy drops off his Husqvarna 125B leaf blower here, and he says it only seems to run wide open. It doesn't matter what you do with the trigger, what you do with the lock, or whatever. Well, dude, check it out. The trigger's not functional at all. It's just wide open. So, well, at least it runs. But we'll open this up and find out what came disconnected or broken. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is take off the recoil here. Recoil is removed by a T25 Torx. So let's get that off of there. Well, that wasn't good. Come on. Alright. Get that right off of there. And the next thing I'm going to do is work on the plastic cover here. And to do that, we're going to switch from a Torx over to a Hex. And this happens to be a number 4. A 5 in metric, a 5/30 seconds also works. And we're looking at screws here and here and here. And we might have to take this off, but we'll see. Alright, we'll see if that did the trick. There we go. Now let's get a closer look at the linkage from the switch to the carburetor. Alright, so we've got this all apart. Looking at the trigger, and you'll see there's no return. So, looking down here at the carburetor, there's actually a spring right there in the carburetor, and that is supposed to return this back to the low run position, and it's not. So at this point my guess is that that spring either broken or came disconnected. So we'll take that apart and see what's going on. Alright, so I'm about to take the carburetor off to give you a closer look at what's going on with the spring, to give myself a closer look at what's going on with the spring. I won't bother videotaping myself taking the carburetor off, because one of my videos actually is this unit right here and showing how to take that carburetor off. So I won't be redundant and repeat that information, but I'll provide a link to that video if you really need to see this. Alright, be right back. Alright, so here's the carburetor. Cleaned it up a little bit with some brake cleaner. It's a Zama C110, C10, and as I mentioned before, the spring, which is right here, something's broken on the spring. So I'm thinking about, I'm going to pull this apart. What I'm going to do is I'll remove this screw and then the throttle plate butterfly valve there, and pull this out and see what's going on with the spring. My guess is it's broken, and we'll probably just replace the whole carb. I'm sure I could probably get one pretty good price, but I'm pretty sure they also don't sell individual parts like that. Alright, so I pulled this arm out of the carburetor, and you can see that the spring has a little hook right there, but the bottom is supposed to have a leg to put tension and return, and that's broken off or something. It's just gone. So don't think that it just broke off. So we'll see what it costs to get a new carburetor, unless I can find the spring. Well, Try to focus here on this, but anyway, you get the picture. Yeah, I think I had a brain freeze moment there for a while. So since this spring is broken, I was thinking about getting a new carb, and then I realized, hey, I got spare parts, and every one of these got some kind of a spring on it. So we're just gonna grab a spring off one of these and see if we can get her going again. All right, I think we found the winner. So take a look at the two springs side by side, and you'll see what that little leg that's broken up, that's what broke off the other spring. So let's get the original carburetor back together. All right, so let's take the new spring, slide it up there. There you go. Now we got that leg sticking off. Now let's see if we can do this. We have to put tension on the spring, so it went in this hole. I think what I'm going to do is put it partly in, and while I can still spin this, I'm going to allow this little leg to catch on this part of the carburetor. I think that'll do. It doesn't have to be a lot. And now get it to sit down. There we go. Alright, I'm going to push this leg a little bit down to sit. Gonna have to get a little screwdriver in there. There we go. Perfect. And now, when you throttle up on this thing, it'll go back. So we'll put the butterfly back in here and put the locking bit back on here, and we'll get this thing back together. Alright, so alright, so I got this pushed all the way in here, and if we look on this end, part of what holds this end on, we got this little tiny E-clip, and it's got to go. There's a groove in the brass, and if we don't drop it, I give it a little squeeze with the pliers. And it just went flying on me. Bummer. Alright, so I was able to snag another E-clip right there off of another one of those carbs, because that other one is lost forever. So now we gotta put this piece on. And a little screw here. Oh, too small. Get a better screwdriver. And I'll put this piece back in there. I'll do that on the workbench. We'll be right back. Alright, so we got the butterfly valve back in place. Everything's all put back together with our new spring. Let's go get a blower started. Alright, so we've got the carburetor reinstalled, the linkage attached to the trigger here, and now when you pull the trigger, it springs back the way it's supposed to. So we'll get this all back together and get this thing running. back in business. Thanks for watching.